So, in case you haven't heard, I replayed it. Okay, now, granted, I do need to say this. I actually played it on Switch, and just to show everybody, I did replay this game on Switch. There it is. I'll show you how many hours I put into it. So it might be a bit tough to read, but it says played for 20 hours or more, which I think is about right for me. So, yes, I replayed Final Fantasy VII, a game that people think I hate, but to be honest, I never had an opinion about the game because, well, actually, let's walk it through real quick. So for people who did not know, or who did not know me years ago, I tried playing the original PlayStation FF7 on my Twitch stream years ago. It was back in 2015 and 16. I tried playing this game. So, let me just give a quick rundown of this. I don't want to stress too much about my original playthrough because I barely remember it. Essentially, when Cloud was introduced as a fighter in Smash 4, I mentioned that I never played Final Fantasy VII or any Final Fantasy game, really. And naturally, I was bombarded with a ton of comments saying, "You've never played FF7, you should play it." Which normally is fine, like that's kind of the reaction I expect, honestly. But it kind of felt more like pressure than it did encouragement, I guess I'll say. It felt like people were essentially telling me, you need to play this, otherwise, you know, we can't be friends. I don't know. But anyways, I did buy the game. I bought a copy, and, you know, I mentioned that I was going to get to it at some point. I don't know when I was going to play it, but people then kind of started, we'll say, harassing me to stream it, which I had every intention of doing, and I did. The problem is that the entire time, I never felt like I could actually enjoy the game, because anytime I did something that people did not like, or they didn't play I'm not playing the game the way that, you know, the viewers played it as a kid, all of a sudden, you know, things just escalated, and not in a good way. So yeah, my playthrough was terrible. I hated playing the game because people just kept telling me, "Oh, well, did you cry at the part you were supposed to cry?" And you know, they just basically everybody was just so critical of me. You know, I couldn't just enjoy the game on my own. And yeah, I never finished the game. I never finished. I got close. I got to the final bosses, didn't finish. Yeah, you know, some people kept begging me to finish, and I didn't, because I didn't see the point in finishing it. Because I didn't want to bring myself to finish a game that I barely could even enjoy because of negative experiences. As soon as I told people I wasn't going to finish this, and that I didn't even have an opinion on the game, didn't like it because of the playthrough, that was terrible, people equated that to, "Oh, you hate JRPGs." Which is incredibly comical. Skies of Arcadia Legends, Baten Kaidos, Eternal Wings in the Lost Oceans, Xenoblade Chronicles, Persona 5. You want me to continue? Years later, I made the decision to try again. And let me kind of walk through that decision. So, when Sephiroth was announced for Smash Ultimate, I, of course, was very stoked. And you might be wondering, wait, why would you be stoked? I thought you hated FF7. Which, by the way, I have a point about that, but I'll get to that in a second. So, here's the thing. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I loved it. There were things about the original game, there were things about this that I didn't like, that Remake fixed. First of all, I like more like action-oriented games, just naturally, and I really like that change about Remake. Also, the characters that was the big thing, was the characters. The characters, I felt like in Remake, they were a lot more fleshed out. Now, granted, you couldn't do a ton of fleshing out on PlayStation, and plus all the characters, they don't have voices or anything. They just have text, and in the US version, the text was, you know, poorly translated, at least for the US version. Yeah, so Remake, to me, fixed a lot of things that I didn't like about the original. And to me, it was I mean, obviously the idea is that it's a brand new game, but it's very familiar in a sense. Some people hated Remake because it wasn't this with prettier graphics, which, I mean, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like, but I loved Remake. And I cannot wait for more Remake stuff. They announced a Yuffie DLC episode, but it's only on PS5, so now I have to get a PS5 at some point. I bet you're wondering, so do you still hate this game? And the answer is no, because I never did. Because I never had an opinion on the game. Until now. So, I can finally say with confidence what my opinion of Final Fantasy VII Original is. I'll talk about it more in detail, but my opinion of Final Fantasy VII. It's a great game, but it is slightly overrated. So my biggest problems with this game are things that still bothered me back then. The first one is long animations. The animations in FF7 are just, sometimes they're just painstakingly long and you can't skip them. It's fine to watch the animation a couple of times just to see the detail, which is great. However, they just are too long. Now, there is something I do want to mention about that they fixed in the Switch, and I believe PS4 and Xbox One versions, maybe PC as well. And that is they added some, I'm going to say cheats, but not completely. And one of them is you can speed up the game ×3. And I had that feature on for a lot of the game. During random encounters, I turned it on. Flying over the map, I turned it on. It is the best feature that they added in the re-releases. That's actually why I would recommend, for that reason alone, there's other reasons, but for that reason alone, I would recommend playing the game on a modern system. I would not recommend going out of your way to get this. I mean, you can if you want, I can't stop you, but I would recommend playing it on a modern system. There are two other features, and they are to turn off random encounters and to have infinite limit break and health. And, I will talk about those two a little bit. First of all, the random encounter feature, I actually only turned off maybe once or twice. I actually didn't mind the random encounters because I could speed through them. I will talk about the infinite limit break and infinite health as well, but not right this second, because that actually fits in with some of my criticism of the game. So, the thing is that this game came out in 1997, and the game actually did a lot of things right at the time, and it did a lot of things that were brand new at the time that no other games were really doing. So I understand, I get why people love this game so much. I get it. I 100% understand it. Of course, I didn't grow up with the game. I was only 1 year old when this game came out initially. So that was a little, I mean, it wasn't before my time, but it was during my time, and I was too busy playing Super Mario Bros. 3, so yeah. One thing I actually really enjoyed about the original game is during the movie cutscenes, where you can tell it's actually like a movie file, those cutscenes actually, in my opinion, still look great. And I don't know why, I can't really explain it in much detail. I actually think those cutscenes still look great. Another thing that I really enjoyed about this game, and I actually, this was the one thing I enjoyed in the original back when I tried playing this years ago. I actually really like the music in the game. I really do. It's just, I can tell why people love this music so much, and I get it. I really do get it. It's great music, so I do have to give props to that. Let me talk about some of the criticisms of this game. I kind of have talked about it a little bit, but the animations are too long, but you can kind of bypass that with the triple speed if you're playing on a modern system. The other thing that I think is a little bit of an issue is the story, honestly. I think the story sometimes gets a little bit convoluted, at least for me. You know, I'm not saying the story needs to be dumbed down for me, but sometimes there are details here and there that kind of get lost. Maybe it's because of translation issues, I don't know. But the thing is that when I played the game recently on my own, no bias, no people telling me how to play, no nothing, I was able to actually enjoy the story and enjoy the game and actually enjoy the game how I wanted to play it and how I should have played it years ago. Here's the thing, I used a walkthrough in this game, at least for most of it. I did use a walkthrough. Now, some people despise walkthroughs. They're like, you have to figure this out on your own. I was a kid when I played this game in 1997. We didn't have walkthroughs. You have to play it that way. And to me, that's incredibly toxic behavior. You can't do that. You cannot tell somebody how to play a game. You can't. You straight up cannot do that. I mean, obviously there are cases where it's like, okay, if you're speedrunning a game, there are rules. But if you're just playing casually on your own, no rules. There's no rules. And I wish I had a bit more a sense of self years ago to be able to say, I'm going to do this how I want, and if anybody complains, then unfollow, go away. Okay, so I realized that there's one thing I forgot to talk about. I'll edit this in later. But the ending of the game, not the ending story-wise, but the ending gameplay-wise, I actually did not like. And here's why. The game's difficulty skyrockets at the end. As soon as you get to those final bosses, as soon as you're about to go confront Sephiroth, the game the difficulty just goes absurd. So the thing is I did try it without cheats, or without the mode where you can turn on limit break and, or infinite limit break and infinite health. I died, so I was like, you know what? I am not reliving that atrocity that I encountered 5 years ago. I want to beat the damn game. So I turned it on and I beat the game. I did beat the game. So the thing is that some people are going to say, oh, well, I didn't have that cheat years ago. I wasn't able to do that in 1997. How dare you? I enjoyed the game. So do you want me to enjoy the game, or do you want me to despise it? Take your pick. The thing is that I actually was able to enjoy this game. I was able to. Is it in my top 100 games? Yeah, but I don't think it's as high as Skies of Arcadia Legends or Baten Kaitos or Xenoblade Persona 5. It's not, in my opinion anyway. It's in there though. It's in there. It is a great game. I do think this is a slightly overrated game still. There are still problems with it. But if you're playing it on a modern system, it does alleviate some of those issues. But yeah, I think that pretty much sums up my short review of this game, is that because I was able to enjoy the game on my own and didn't have to stream it, didn't have to tell anybody. I actually did tell a few people. I told my moderators in my Twitch stream. Yeah, I was able to just enjoy this game that for years tormented me, honestly. It tormented me and it frustrated me to have to, you know, keep hearing people tell me I hate JRPGs because of this game. It's so silly and it's so stupid that people will just jump to a certain conclusion just because I didn't enjoy a game that you enjoyed. And to be honest, it's not even that I didn't enjoy the game, it's just how can I enjoy a game when I can't even play it for myself? But now that years have passed and I just did it on my own terms, I can finally confidently say this is a great game. Yeah, if you are thinking about live streaming this game, you might want to think about it. I can't stop you, but you might want to think about it, because my experience was incredibly toxic. But then again, some people might play this game, they love it, and they stream it, and everybody in chat loves it, and, you know, you might have a great time. That's great. But that was the biggest setback for me, is that I had a negative experience, and I couldn't shake it off. But once I did it on my own, played the game how I wanted to play it, I enjoyed it. And that's basically the theme of this, is that you need to play the game how you want to play it, and you can still have a valid opinion about it. Final Fantasy VII is a great game, slightly overrated, some things didn't age well, but if you play it on a modern system, I think you'll enjoy it more. So, yeah, I think that is everything I want to talk about. I can't wait for more Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff. Yeah, I still think Remake does a better job with characters, and, you know, I like the new takes on the music and all that fun stuff. I'm not here to talk about Remake too much, but yeah, FF7, it's a great game. I can finally say that. I actually beat FF7 early February of 2021. Yeah, it's been a little bit over a month since I beat it, but yeah, I still enjoyed it. With all that said, that is going to conclude this video. I was going to make this video a while back, but I kind of forgot about it. But I was bored and I had a little bit of time, so Here it is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. All my social media stuff is down below. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. Have a good one.